Episode 44 of How to Become a Sales Warrior. I'm your host, Eddie Pods. We have a guest co-host.
How are you today? Glen Dauman, Long Island Egress Pros. Happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here. It's always, when someone can't make it and someone's there to fill in, I'm very grateful that you're going to be here today. We are here. Normally Mark would be telling us why we're here, but I'm here to help a younger generation of salesmen and women cut the time to reaching the top rung by some years, whatever those years are. It took me 20 years to perfect something and be seriously successful. And there were so many things that I learned in between that if I had known that 20 years ago, if I had a mentor or somebody that I could have looked up to that could have taught me these things, it would have saved time.
I think we all have very similar experiences, yes.
So that was the purpose of writing the book, How to Become a Sales Warrior, and I took it a step further. I made it an action book. So in the book, there are action statements after every chapter. It's basically talking about my fuck-ups and how I fixed them or what I should have done differently than I did.
Right.
So I'm acknowledging my mistakes, I'm learning from my mistakes, and sharing that all the way through in the book. So that's why we're here.
Love it.
I know you said you're not a big sports moment guy, but Saturday night we watched the third period and overtime period of the Islander game. They won, and I didn't know it until the announcer said it, but they were actually tied for first place. Islanders haven't been tied in first place in so many years. It was a shock. It didn't last long because then Carolina won Sunday night and Carolina went back up on us. But still, for that moment, my wife, my daughter, myself, we were sitting there enjoying, we're in first place. So
love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So chapter 15 is going to get a revision in my second book. Chapter 15 is about social media. And
big subject.
You know, when I started this 2 years ago, I was doing something different then than I'm doing now. Social media has changed in just 2 years to what I wrote in the book, and I'm pontificating to people even in the studio here 2 years ago what we're doing. And the culmination for me was last week someone showing me how to use an app to create social media, and it was like, 2 years ago we weren't even thinking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
What kind of social media stuff are you doing?
Oof, we do everything. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We try to be everywhere because that's where people are, and that's where you need to be.
You have a team?
I have
a 20-something?
I have had so many teams,
okay,
throughout the years. Mostly a lot of disappointments, honestly, because it really pays to do it yourself and know what you're doing.
Right.
If you don't know what you're doing, someone's taking advantage of you. That's a fact.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that because Rebecca inside there takes care of my social media. You do a great job, Rebecca.
Well, you have somebody you trust in.
Someone I trust, and,
exactly.
and that is very true. And in the action statement for it is, it's about commitment. It's about your level of commitment. Learn before you hit send.
Right.
Like you just said now, do it yourself, figure it out. Know that you could do it if you had to. Even if you're having someone else do it, know that you know about it.
Right.
That's really important.
Super important.
But if you're going to do it, go all in, go with a 1-year commitment. Don't give me 3 months, don't give me 6 months. Have a plan for 1 year. This is my budget for 1 year. This is what I'm going to spend every month for 1 year. And I'm going to adhere to it, and we're going to see if it's going to work. The problem with most things, people are too interested in instant gratification, and if they didn't get a sale by the end of the week, it proved to be a waste of money.
That is a gigantic problem, is that people change their message, think, oh, we're stale. You're not stale. People just aren't ready to move forward.
Right.
Honestly, they've probably seen you 300 times, but they're not ready to move forward. They will when they see your message that one time and remember that that's the person I trust. That's the person I'm going to go to.
There's a realtor who was on last week, Jim Manikis, and he was really inspiring, really awesome guest. He tagged me after the show, and I started seeing his TikToks, and the guy does one, I think every day, which is way, way more than I'm going to even consider. but his stuff was good.
Yeah.
And he was a good guest on my podcast, and he was interesting, and his clips don't always have anything to do with his business.
Yeah.
It's just him getting his brand out there. And, you know, like that's a guy that sticks in my mind. He's doing something creative, and if I really needed help, he'd be a guy that I would reach out to because of that. So, you know, stick to the budget, give it the time it needs. Don't be in a hurry. Again, instant gratification. I talk all the time about planting seeds. My seeds are 6 months out, 9 months out. I plant hundreds every week. They're for later.
I truly believe that my first message was my best message, and that's the one I stick with now. And it's been 11 years. It's, what is Egress?
What is Egress?
Visit egresspros.com, because you really want to learn, you know, what it is.
Did you go to Galuzzo's event at those houses in Dix Hills, the Friday night 2 weeks ago?
No.
First thing I did when I went down in the basement. First thing I did.
Did they have an egress?
They had egress.
I like those
It was
people.
the first thing my wife said, where you going? I'm going to check the windows. I swear to God, because I see you
probably
all
put
the
it in.
time.
I probably put it
So that was pretty interesting.
You do a lot of work in Dix Hills.
So we're starting a new segment. One of my previous guests, Robbie Kurzik from Timeline Renovation, he was on episode 19, September 23rd, 2024. He was a guest. He's from Nari.
Yep.
Old friend from Nari. So he was a guest. We were chatting the other day, and he asked me, he said, if I wanted to publish my book, what's the best platform? And I'm like choked up about it because unfortunately, to get going, the best platform is Amazon. To get going, to get your book in a position to be printed on spot. So you're not going into this deep inventory anymore where you're buying 20,000 books and sitting on in some warehouse, and now you have to figure out how to distribute them. Amazon gets you going.
I can imagine that technology must be amazing.
Correct. So everyone who goes to my podcast, goes to my Amazon to buy a book, they have two choices. They can buy the Audible, or they can buy that book right there. The split's terrible. The finances are horrible, but they put you in a position. What I've learned in the 3 years since I published is you start there with the plan to go elsewhere. Going elsewhere is if you can create your own relationship with a Walden's bookstore or other online platforms that sell books other than Amazon.
Right.
Someone suggested to me a year ago to sell it on my website. So I have a order form on my website, but it goes to me. I'm the fulfillment center. So I got a case of books in my office, and I'm the fulfillment center, and that's not realistic. But I have to offer it because sell 2 on my own is equal to 30 on Amazon.
Even if you have it on your website, can't it just go to an order on Amazon?
It can, but then they get all the money.
Oh, I got you.
When you're talking, it feels like an 80-20 split in their favor. Yeah.
I'm probably not going to do that.
Yeah. So, my suggestion to Robbie was, do the Amazon. They'll help you. I'll help them. But it'll get you in their store where you need to be. Amazon is Amazon.
Amazon's Amazon.
And if I'm in the bathroom somewhere and somebody wants my book, am I going to say, write down this website or go to my...
Right.
Go to Amazon, it's there.
The easiest route.
Easiest route, less money. And again, it was interesting that someone from my, that was here wrote his own book, and now he's thinking about publishing too. So I was kind of flattered by that. I don't see my timer. I have no idea what time it is.
What time should it be?
Getting close to 12 minutes, and we go to tequila time.
Okay.
So we're going to take a quick break.
Great.
We're going to get my pirate friend over there is filled with some delicious tequila, and we'll toast, and I'll tell you what tequila time is all about.
Sounds great.
All right. We'll be back in 5.
Thank you.
My favorite part, just reminds me of Bonham. Anyway, welcome back to episode 44 of How to Become a Sales Warrior. I'm your host, Eddie Pods, my co-host,
Glen Dauman, Egress Pros. Happy to be here.
So tequila time is a reference to how we do things old and new, and I kind of touched on it a little earlier, and I might have given a little bit out. Things that we did in the old days aren't too long ago anymore, and that's what I'm finding out. And this tequila time,
like last week now.
This tequila time, 2 years ago when I started this, it was all about clips and reels. Clips and reels. Got to do clips and reels. And again, still got to do clips and reels.
Yep.
Ever heard of Sora? Have you ever heard of Sora?
No.
So Sora is an app, and I saw it first during Thanksgiving. Larry Cohen, shout out to you, elder care attorney in my network, in our networking group. He sent something in our group chat of him at the Macy's Day Parade, waving to everybody. He was on a float. I was blown away by it. I'm like, wow, that is so cool. Who knows, a week later, Christine Fitzpatrick, who is on this show, we have a one-on-one, and she breaks out her phone and wants to show me. And she wants to help me, and she wants to teach me. And at the end of 15 minutes, I had the app on my phone, and I was already working on my first...
You were at Giant Stadium doing the halftime show?
No, it was not. It's funny because you got to be really careful. We said it earlier, before you hit send, check it. I didn't check what was going on and what I created, and it said... Instead of sales warrior, it said sell warrior.
Okay.
And then I posted it wrong. Like, what is wrong with you? You know it's fucked up.
That's why you have help.
Why would you send it? But yeah, just 2 years later, this Sora AI software
is killing it
is
right now.
out there, and I'm like, I'm going to start using this just for shits and giggles, for the podcast, for my pod selling. Just to see where I could go with it. And again, she showed me how to take the clip. You can't do any edits on it. You upload it to TikTok. TikTok has software that'll let you put blurbs in. It'll let you edit what you've done. And it's like, okay, so we do it on Sora, we download it, and then we upload it onto TikTok. And she's like, yeah. She's our age. Like, the fact that someone sat and showed her a couple weeks ago.
She was definitely taught.
So anyway, cheers. Tequila time, old and new. That was my old and new, which isn't that old. All right. I always like to come with a word of the day, and this one is chance. Do things happen by chance? Do you take chances? And always two folds with a word. Which direction what was your first thought when I said chance? What was your first thought?
That we have a chance.
That's the positive. Do you take chances?
Yes, you have to take chances. If you don't take chances, you don't go anywhere.
And I laugh at that because when I closed my first deli after 9 whole months, and I jumped on a boar's head truck and rode routes for 5 years, learning my trade better. I took another chance 5 years later, but I was so much more prepared, so well educated. It didn't even feel like work. It felt like passion, like...
We have similar backgrounds. I actually started a cigar business in my youth, where I created a route of 760 locations where I was delivering my cigars to all over Long Island.
You hand rolling yourself?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I was actually buying them. And it was at a time when you couldn't get cigars. This freaky story, my brother was dating the personal secretary to Marvin Shankin, the editor of Cigar Aficionado.
I don't know anything about that, but I believe you.
Yes.
I've tried cigars. I don't understand smoking without inhaling. I just don't. I was no Bill Clinton where I didn't inhale, I inhale. But anyway, taking a chance. I've always been the guy that, especially in my organization at Pods, I'll take all the chances.
Makes sense.
And they step back and, oh, it worked. Okay, well, we'll try that. So I'm okay with it.
Take chances.
Big win of the week. So this is you know Adam Holzer?
I don't think I do.
Okay, he used to own an organization called Huga.
Oh, the sneaker company.
No. He closed that down. He opened a new organization. It's called Nooks
I do
and
know
Socials.
him. I do know him. I'm sorry, I do know him.
Okay. Nooks and Socials, Adam Holzer. He was on episode 29. Give him some shout out. So he invited me to one of his events. The HIA has a really large office space in Hop Hog, large conference room, fits 50 people in a square. He had 50 guests there. He had some nice Jersey Mike sandwiches. It was just a networking opportunity, but I met two people, one contractor, one restoration guy who actually worked with each other. Knew 4 or 5 other people in the room, so that's always good to rekindle relationships. But during the presentation, I got to present, and it was the answer to a question. The woman said, I go to all these events, but getting that next follow-up call is really hard. What do you do? And I got this one. I said, you got to do a one-on-one. You have to invite them out for a meal, a lunch, a coffee, something that means something. I always go for lunch. So there's a place in Colmac called Marbella. It's my lunch date place. So I'm saying this to the girl, and she's, listening along, blah, blah, blah. The meeting's over. I get up, I walk over, what are you doing next week for lunch? To the 2 guys, the contractor and the restoration guy, I want to take you guys to lunch. I want to talk to you guys more. Yeah, absolutely. Here's my card. Let's set something up. Practicing what I preach, but that's a win.
No question.
On a Friday afternoon, I quit work at 1 o'clock, show up for this event, had the hour wrong, so it's an hour early. Got out at 5 o'clock, but still, it was worth the time. It was great lunch, met some great people. To me, that's a big win.
I hear you.
What was your big win?
My big win? Wow. I've had a lot of good wins, honestly. With networking, you're talking about?
Big win at the office. Sale, big sale.
Oof. Well, fortunately, my sales are very steady, and it's basically the same amount every day. That's how we structure it, because we don't want to grow too fast and not be able to supply the quality that we want to deliver. So as far as big wins is having my son come back to work with me. That's a big win. Having somebody who has got my back and the knowledge to get things done is super important. Tremendous win. Forget about that. My granddaughter's nearby, but
was he in Florida for a little bit?
He was in North Carolina.
North Carolina, that's right.
For like 2.5 years. It was torture. Yeah, not having.
I understand. My son went away to college and he hasn't come back. It's 4.5
He'll come back.
years.
He'll come back probably.
You know what I'm saying? He moved in with his girlfriend after college, went out on his own. I'm like, he's never come back from college.
Well, good. You know what? He's making it.
He's not asking me for too much money.
I understand.
It is what it is. But that is a big win. Having someone that you trust in the fold. It's more than just blood. It's more than just family. And that you could put your focus on whatever it is you want to focus on for the business. And I'm feeling like that right now, where I'm building a chatbot. I met someone who is going to build a software for me to take an Excel spreadsheet that I have and merge the two, where it actually takes that spreadsheet and will send a personalized email to everyone on that list based on their email.
We're doing the same thing right now. AI is automated.
Automate my job.
Yep.
Automate my job. And the goal, and here's what the only goal is, that I could dial more phone numbers. Mm-hmm. I have hundreds and hundreds of phone numbers to pick up the phone, make the connection, make the future sale. Every less phone call I make because I have to do this is taking real time away. I might be able to grow my business by 20% by going out, paying for this on my own. I'm not asking my company to buy it. It's just something I want to test out and see how it goes, how it works. And, that's a good...
It's going to be a tremendous success. AI is changing every day. Right now we have a young woman is our AI, and she sounds amazing. And she answers questions brilliantly, better than I would.
I use...
She puts in the nice adjectives and praises and nice words that go in between that make it a really pleasant conversation.
I do proposals every day, anywhere between 5 and 15. I speak my proposals to ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. It already knows my personality. It knows what I'm looking to do. It takes all my valuable information, because it's all information that I'm speaking into it. So it's not really creating. It's just corrective spelling, corrective punctuation, grammar, things that I'm weak at, suggested. I'm a good writer, so writing's not the issue. My typing is atrocious. And if you have too time wasted, I went to ChatGPT to save my wasted time,
Sure.
which is doing amazing. And my follow-up detail is greater than it's ever been because I don't have to type it. I can just speak it.
Love it.
So it's pretty cool.
I love all this new technology. It's fantastic tools.
So I answered this question already. I kind of rolled into it, best business decision of the week. And the best business decision of the week was doing a one-on-one with the guy from HIA last week, introducing me to someone who builds chatbots, bots. Wow, I said that 3 times, chatbots. And having a one-on-one with her on Saturday. We both had some free time, got to kick around that hour of what I wanted. I shared my screen with her, and within 10 days, she's going to have something for me. And I said to my wife, I said, I'm going to spend $2,500 to $3,000 on this. It's what it's going to cost me. It's going to break down to about $210 a month. Out of pocket
I'm going to say that's a home run because I have PR that costs $3,000 a month.
Exactly, and she was all on board with it. But the point is, I'm taking that jump. I'm taking that leap.
You have to.
If I could cut down on more things that I don't have to do by myself, I mean, I'm really good at it, but you can drown in it.
That's the secret sauce, is how much time do we have available to us to do what we want to get done.
And I want to spend more time on the phone. I love being on the phone. I love starting that conversation and connecting with someone instantaneous, or get the proverbial fuck off, leave me alone, which is okay too, because then you never have to worry about calling them again.
Well, that's true. Well, you could call them back just to annoy them.
So what was your best business decision of the week?
Wow. Best decision of the week has to be what we're doing off Long Island right now. We're expanding into Connecticut, Jersey, and Westchester, and it's going really well. In a matter of a few weeks, we have created the Google My Business. I'm sure you're aware of.
Sure. We're
1, 2, 3 now already because of my reputation on Long Island. It just transfers right over to these other areas, and we're just.
Are you opening any satellite offices?
We have them already in every one of the states.
So how many do you have?
Right now we have 4.
What states? Give them a shout out.
Well, again, it's Connecticut, New Jersey, and Westchester, and of course all of Long Island, all the 5 boroughs except for New York City. No one wants to work there.
Nobody wants to work there.
And we plan on doubling our business this year as a result, and I don't even know if that could be a low based on the amount of territories I have now. It's exciting, and we're moving. There's other things going on, but.
And again, I'll forget about talking out of turn because we're already in the middle of it. When you were with Nary and I was there, I remember you talking about doing a program with the firehouse.
We did it.
You did.
I actually I designed and donated training centers to both the Nassau and Suffolk County Fire Academies, and this is the great thing, is that Egress is so new that no one ever had one. So now I have a patent on it. I actually have a patent on my Egress training system that's for sale to all the burn building manufacturers out there that want to add this to their repertoire of things to
Are you finding connection nationally with that, or you're still kind of?
It's virtually brand new.
Okay.
It's the patent only came in maybe 6 months ago, and I've been working on finding the right person to rep this, because it's not me. And it's not anybody in my organization, because you have to be a firefighter,
right?
And you have to have some kind of
connection to the
industry to
so let's
those doors.
Let's jump into the industry. How did you? I know you were a contractor. When did you? Where's that start from? You being a contractor?
Well, I was a contractor in 2008. Obviously, everybody knows what happened. We all had a fracture, and we fell off the face of the earth. And then you couldn't build a shelf. There was no
banks had no money.
Nobody was
giving mortgages.
So, I was actually working with a friend of mine. We combined our businesses together, and in that time span, my son had become a junior firefighter, and I saw him going to a simulated rescue mission, and he fainted in the rescue mission.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's like because when the smoke was in the room and he couldn't see, and the helmet was on, he fainted or collapsed.
It happened.
Something happened, and when he came out, I was like, that scared the hell out of me. I was like,
maybe
if that
you could
was
do something
real,
else.
If that was real, he'd be dead. And I had put one of these egress windows in years earlier, not thinking anything of it, just thinking, oh yeah.
You did it at a project site.
Yeah, and I thought this is a good a good product to bring to market because I wanted to expand what I was doing, and this is something that I thought.
And what year is that start year?
That was 2013, which is funny because it's 2 years before it became a federal building code, which was kind of nice. I'm not going to lie, that was kind of nice.
And did you buy a franchise?
No, I started it from scratch.
Obviously, you have a manufacturer. Well, more than one?
I couldn't find a window that I wanted to bring to. The windows that are out there are kind of dangerous. You don't want to crank out window in your emergency exit because
Correct.
It takes too long to open.
Yeah.
And then once you get it open, then you have two locks and you got to push out the handles in the way and the screen.
There's a lot going on
There's
there.
no way a 5-year-old is getting out of that window.
Right.
No way. Or an old person, or even me. I'm telling you right now, because the smoke could fill the room by then.
Right.
But so we created this window that's a single handle, opens full 90 degrees with a sliding screen.
I have seen them.
It's literally 3 seconds and you're out the window. And that's what I import and I created myself. We actually designed it.
So you have the patent on it?
There's no patent. It's not something that people haven't seen before. It just wasn't used. And I can tell you why it wasn't used is because the screen got dirty, right? Because it was out in the open. But this is underneath and covered and not out in the open.
Right.
So it works beautifully. It doesn't get that abuse of the wind and the dust and the debris hitting it on a daily basis. It's under a cover, and so it works much better.
Since you started in 2013, how much has changed in your industry as far as the windows? What has changed?
On my end, nothing's changed
on the manufacturer end. What's changed? What design? What's new? What's even better than it was 13 years ago or 12 years ago?
I feel like we have a big head start in the market that people are not using what I'm using, and they're still sticking with what they know. I don't want to say the name of the company, but they buy from this company, and that's what they buy from, and that's
right.
That's it.
You know, contractors are creatures of habit.
Right.
You know that from being a contractor. I've worked with well over 500 contractors in my time with pods moving and storage, many here on Long Island, but all across the country. And they're creatures of habit, and if you're not within their scope of the world, you'll never see them or hear from them.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
You know, and that's where I'm looking at, like. So let's talk revenue. I'm a fucking sales guy at heart, man.
Right.
5 years in, where's your revenue? Tell me 5 years in.
5 years in, we were close to $8 million a year.
10 years in.
10 years in, we're back to $6 million a year.
Okay.
Because 5 years was COVID.
Okay.
And everybody was home, and everybody needed a place to escape, or a place to do schoolwork, or a place to work from. So it was much more prevalent that people were in their house and they were together.
Oh yeah, there was a boom. And again, I live in a very nice neighborhood, East Northport. I saw more construction during COVID because of the affluent neighborhood. They needed to do something with their money because they weren't going out, and they were remodeling their homes.
They weren't going anywhere.
Every road had a cement mixer on it, had the window guys on it, the lumber guys. It was, it was a good time.
It was good stuff.
And what about now? Okay,
now
we're 5 years post-COVID.
Now we are on the way up again. It's what's funny about Egress is that still to this day, probably 50% of people don't even know what it is. They still don't even know it exists. So when they see it, they're like, "Oh, I have an Egress window. What size? Oh, it's 32 by 15. That's not an Egress window. That's a regular basement window." And oh yeah, we can get out of it if I push my husband up and
So true. That's not happening.
But somebody's going to die down.
Someone's going to die.
Right. So
it's
there's a lot of education still going on. Is my point.
So if it's a law, no new houses.
Let's not call it a law. Let's call it a federal building code. It's a code. Because that's what it is. And it's not against the law to not have it, but your house doesn't have a CO if you don't. So,
but new development,
if they don't finish the basement, they don't need 2 forms of egress.
Got it.
Right? And guess what?
Okay.
They're not going to finish the basement because the taxes are going to go so high that the new buyer is going to be like, "Oh no, I don't want that house. The taxes are too high." So,
well, we were talking before. I asked you if you went to Galuzzo's event. So he's the realtor, and there's 2 partners that are the builders. They're building 5 houses in Dix Hills. One starting at 4,000 square feet up to 7,000 square feet, just tremendous houses. And we go. They had a full party in one, and we went downstairs, and it was 10-foot ceilings in the basement.
Love it.
And immediately I went to the outside window. I wanted to see. And they had the Egress windows, but the tax...
Was it a finished basement?
No. It did have a cement floor, but it wasn't finished. No, not finished, but their taxes were $50,000.
Yikes.
It's insane.
Wow. Was there a pool at least in the backyard?
No, it's a brand new construction.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. They were asking us to fill an application. I'm like, serious? Unless I win that lotto, there is zero chance.
20 million, maybe I'll be able to afford that.
So let's talk units. I'm a units guy. I say that because with pods, last year I did 3,700 containers, a little bit over. This year I'm definitely going to break 4,000 containers in a year. So those kind of numbers intrigue me. How many last year? How many this year? We're at the end of the year.
Right. Well, we're on track always to do about 1,000 wells a year. That's our goal, is 1,000 a year.
Even with the expansion?
No, that's next year. Yes, because this is just starting.
Okay, this is just breaking out.
Literally 2.5 months is when we started this expansion into these other places. So we're not counting that yet, but of course it's going to be 2,000 next year. That's going to be our goal.
I see this as something that you should be seeing on a TV commercial. Do you have a TV commercial?
We did for a long time, and unfortunately, you need to have gigantic pockets to get that message out there that way. I was on News 12 for 3 or 4 years, and we had a pretty decent budget. We were spending close to $60,000 a year on TV.
That's a lot of money.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I mean, we did get calls, right? But it wasn't. Nobody was saying. Nobody
they
was
weren't banging on my door
to say, "Hey, we got to get one of these things."
So
I didn't know what it was.
I'm a marketing guy. I'm involved in so many different things to promote pods, promote my book, the podcast. What are you focusing on besides social media? Take social media out. What are you focusing on to generate new leads?
Boots on the ground. And reviews. Google My Business reviews are the
still the golden ticket.
Oh, if you have them, you are the authority in the field.
Got it.
That's all there is to it. And
so every job you do, what's the follow-up to the client look like when it's done?
We have 3 things. Number 1 is we hand them, the crew leader will go to the customer and with a little completion certificate. And they'll show them, were we polite? Were we clean? Did we show you how to use the window? And just so you know that we get a bonus if you think we did a great job. Please give us a 5-star review. That's number 1.
That's good.
Number 2 is then we send them a link to just press and send their review.
Kind of like the voting?
Then the salesperson 2 weeks later calls up and says, "Hey, I noticed you didn't leave a review. I just hope everything was okay. Just want to make sure that you're happy." And they're like, "Oh, we're so happy." And they get the review then too.
That's great.
Yeah, so we're really focused on that. That's super important.
I have struggles with people doing reviews for me personally. I don't ask for them because unless you use my product, a review is helping Eddie Pods is none. But what we have is they called in to me, great experience. They went onto the website like I instructed them to do the payment, great experience. Driver delivers the container, drops the container, great experience. They drive out and they run over a patch of grass and smushes the lawn. Worst fucking company ever. You piece of shit.
I got to be honest with you. You know, when in contracting, I always said, I can do your 40-square roof in one day, but if I leave one nail in the driveway.
One nail in the driveway. It's so true. Yes. And it's like, my ops team who go out of their way to help me personally on my projects. Hey, just tell you people to do a review. And I'm like, I do. I tell them to, but I know they're going to fuck that. It's such a pain in the ass.
It's hard to. You really need to just send them a link so that it makes it so simple, and even make suggestions of what you might want to, them to talk about. Right? Like, sometimes people don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. If you help them a little, it makes it a lot easier.
So I learn from both sides of the fence because I have, a customer service team, and I know how they talk to me, and I could see how sometimes they could be fucking annoying, not really helpful, trying to be the smartest person in the room when we're supposed to be working towards a solution. I don't need smartest person in the room.
No, I need help.
I need help, exactly. And I'm fortunate that I'm experienced enough that no one pulls that shit with me, but I know they do with others. And I know they do because I get feedback from coworkers, I get feedback from clients who speak to them, like, I could see that. But it's not helpful. And, when you're depending on a review, all it takes is them to call, oh, Eddie's on the road, call this number. Hey, Eddie told me to call this number, hold on. Like, whoa, already you're, what do you mean hold on? Why the fuck did you answer the phone if you're going to put me on hold? Like, they do it to me sometimes. Like, why'd you answer the phone?
Yeah. It's coming right back.
So
when you have a second.
Those things are important. The product itself hasn't changed much. You haven't done any redesigning to it.
We created this thing called the Egress Pro's Emergency Escape System. And honestly, in my way, we're actually creating a new website called egressusa.com.
Okay.
And it's for wholesale. Because of the relationships I've built over the years with our manufacturers, I did what nobody else said they would do.
Gotcha.
Right? My thought process came true. I did what, and they trust me. They give me they're just really good to me, honestly. They're great company. And because of that, I can sell to supply houses. I can sell to contractors. I can sell to builders.
Are you?
That's what Egress USA is. That's what egressusa.com is. We're doing a whole nationwide campaign to get some of that business. Because the truth is the manufacturer doesn't mind me creating this because it's just moving more product for them. And it's basically what they're going to sell to the manufacturers, any supply house anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
So my networking brain kicks into high gear. It's actually one of the topics before we finish up. Is U.S. Lumber a company you would want to connect to for your product? U.S. Lumber owns...
Probably they're already doing business with other companies that I don't agree with, that I don't think is a good...
How do you know?
I do know, because I've...
U.S. Lumber owns over 500 lumber yards across the country.
Yeah, they're working with another company I know. They rep another well manufacturer.
Okay.
I was just talking to them recently about this.
So there's no room for bidding. There's no room for opportunity. Even if you had a connection, because I have a connection.
I feel like my product might be 10 cents more than somebody else's, but for the homeowner and for the contractor, it will pay tenfold for not having any aggravation for years, right? If you have a better product, spend $10 more and get the better product, because you nickel and dime yourself.
You're preaching to the choir.
Well, that's a fact.
When my clients tell me who my competitor is and that they're 10% cheaper, my first response is, that's good for them. I'm going to give you 10% more customer service. That's my response to it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you 10% more customer service than they will, because they go to my website to pull my pricing to be 10% under what I do.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But they're not going to give you 10% on my customer service.
They never do. Honestly, there's not a company out there in my industry, I think, that does what we do.
See, I was a little surprised that you shut me down on making a connection for you.
Who's that?
Well, that's where I was going.
U.S. Lumber, you mean?
Yeah, I have a friend who's a senior VP for that.
I'm always interested in talking to new people. That's not what I was getting at. What I was getting at is I was dealing with a pretty good supplier here on Long Island. And I brought my wells to them. And they said, oh, well, we're already buying these wells at this price. I'm like, but they're junk. It's garbage.
Okay.
And you're giving your customers garbage, but you don't want to spend $10 more to give your customers something better. I can't compete with that.
But that's just one. There's so many other places to go where people are willing to spend more money for better.
And that is what we're doing right now. That is where we're going, is looking for those people.
So there's a guy named Rob Baskin who I met through NARI by going all around the country as part of the National NARI organization years ago. And me and him bopped into about 7 or 8 cities together, became really good friends. He's a sales rep for U.S. Lumber, who has purchased, I think they're at 700 lumber yards at this point, all under, it's a venture capitalist thing now. They buy these big conglomerates. But again, he was going to get pods set up very nicely as a possible distributor for pods containers.
Oh, that sounds good.
It was a great opportunity, and my company passed on it.
What?
And I don't ever take the same swing at the same pitch again. So once they poo-pooed it,
they don't
that
want
was
to go
the end.
wholesale.
The point is, I would be happy to call Rob and say, hey, do you guys do anything with this kind of material, blah, blah, blah? Would you take a call from a friend of mine?
I'm not going to say no to you. I would appreciate it very much, obviously.
Because that's where my mind was going.
Well, thanks for bringing it back up.
There you go. There you go. So networking tip of the week, be intentional with your time. Seek maximum value from every event you go to. So when I committed to the Friday afternoon to go to Adam's event, I was committed. I had no plan to be anywhere else. Calendar's cleared. I came ready to listen to 39 other people speak about what they do, take notes with each person who I thought there would be some good connection with. Had a nice lunch, had 2 intentional conversations at the end that are leading to lunch at Marbella next week. Contractor, restoration guy, looking for a relationship. We weren't looking for business.
Right.
We're looking for a relationship. How can I help you? Who's in my sphere that could help you on something else other than what I do? Right. What I do is not complex. It's a box. And I don't kid myself about how important I am in the world, but there's a need for me.
There's a need for you.
When I go to these networking events, I'm being very intentional. I want to meet good people, but that woman at the event, how do I get to the next level? I'm going to get to the next level in the second step. That's pretty good. Step 1 was going. Step 2 is lunch. Step 3 is writing the order. And that order could be in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. It doesn't matter. That seed is planted, and it will grow into something.
You don't even know where that order is going to be. That order might come from somebody 10 conversations away.
Correct.
You don't even know it came from that meeting.
But, the idea is to maximize. If you're going to go out, like you're here today, I know taking 3 hours out of your day is a lot. I totally get that. Let's maximize your value. Let's make sure we get plenty of airtime for Egress and spend most of the time talking about your company, which is a win-win for you.
Always love talking about my
maximizing your time when you're out there is really important. We are sorry we missed you at the Christmas party.
Yeah, me too.
It was really good. Like I said,
not a great day for us.
I heard. But having 33 people at a dinner, we only have 33 members, so that the fact that you get more than half, 12 guests, people brought their spouses, that's always nice seeing that that's intentional. These networking events are intentional. All right, we got 2 questions left and we're done. First one is, where is Egress in 5 years?
Egress in 5 years. That's a broad subject because I have a vision that might not be
reality.
No, I think my vision is real. In 5 years, I am not going to be in the installation business any longer. I will be in the distribution business.
Gotcha.
I will be teaching people across the country how to do what I do, and that was the game plan to begin with. Is to teach other people how to install in one day with no mess. Follow all the plans on how to get your reviews, how to build your company, all of it, how to market it, the whole 9 yards. And then just be a supplier with the welds, the windows, the grates, covers, ladders, and all the other materials that are needed to install these things. And that's really what I'm working on right now is building the company up to with an exit plan for my family and I.
Sounds excellent. I'm looking forward to being part of it and seeing it. And
Thank you.
Being along for the ride. Like I said, we've known each other for over 10 years now. The fact that you ended up in my group is pretty freaking amazing. I love that. I knew your son. That was really awesome when he started coming to the meetings. Really enjoyed that. Last question is always my favorite. If you could sit down and have a meal with anyone, past or present, alive or dead, doesn't matter who, what generation, who'd you want to sit and have a meal with?
Wow.
Anyone.
You might not like it. But I think I would like to have dinner with the Obama family.
There you go. That's interesting.
Those are tremendous role models and
interesting. That's
intelligence, and it's just something that I think I could definitely learn some things from.
I think that's amazing. I do. I have no issue with that at all. All right, you're going to look into the camera. You're going to tell who you are, your name of your company, how we could find you.
My name is Glen Dauman. I own Long Island Egress Pros. We're at 21A Edison Avenue in West Babylon. We have locations in Connecticut, New Jersey, and Westchester. And just look us up, Egress Pros, and you're going to find us online. Read reviews. Please read reviews. That's all I can tell you is if you want it done right, You want it done in one day. You don't want aggravation. You'll give us a call.
I'm Eddie Podge, your host. You need a pod storage container, you will find me at 631-334-8587. If you're interested in hiring me to come speak to your sales team, you could reach me at howtobecomeasaleswarrior.com. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye now.